This is a bicycle diagnostic for checking your bike before you go out to ride it. You want to make sure everything's set and in place, and these steps and instructions will show you how to do that. For the start of our check, what we want to do is we want to make sure the tire's tight in place and the wheel is nice and set. We also want to make sure that the quick release lever is down and closed. What we want to then do is we want to check the spokes to make sure they're nice and tight, and then we go along the tire to make sure there are no cracks and there's no hard weathering. The next thing we want to do is check to make sure the brakes are working. What we're first going to do is we're going to hold the front brake tightly and push forward. I'm on a slippery surface, so it doesn't work well. It's raining right now. But what it should do is when you hold the brakes, your back wheel should come up. That'll be a sign that your front brakes are working well. Same concept for the back wheels. What we want to do, we want to have the back. What should happen is if we squeeze the brakes, again, it's raining and slippery for me, but if I squeeze the brakes, what should happen is the bike should come up like this, because this tire will be stopped and it'll force this part up. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure there's no play with the handlebars. So what you're going to do, you're going to put the wheel in between your knees and hold it firmly, right? And then you're going to take the handlebars and you see, do they move at all? Is it in a straight line? The next step is you want to make sure this is tight. You want to turn the handlebars 90 degrees and hold this part. There shouldn't be any movement or play. The big word is play, is sort of like movement, and it should move freely. The next thing is to work down to our pedals. We want to make sure the pedals are spinning freely and they're not loose. They're nice and tight on there. We don't want loose brakes. Next, we're going to check the bottom bracket. What you want to do is just crank it like this. There shouldn't be any play. Now, in this demonstration, you can't see it because it's on the other side, but what you want to do to check the drive chain, and that's the chain, is you want to pedal it backwards, make sure it's moving freely, there's no blocking or hindrance. The next thing is to look at the frame. You want to make sure there's no cracks. That's a big thing. Cracks are not a good sign. You want to take a look down all throughout here, up through here, really all over the frame of the bike. Make sure there's no cracks, no bumps, anything that shows weathering, or really anything that looks broken. The next thing to do is we're going to check the saddle or the seat. You want to make sure there's no play on it. Again, play. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. Any movement isn't good. That means you need to tighten it. Moving back to the back wheel, we're doing the same thing as the front wheel. We want to make sure the quick release lever is tight and closed. We want to make sure there's no play on the wheel and it's tight and secure. It's raining a lot right now, so I'm going to try and go fast with this. You want to go along the spokes to make sure they're not cracked or broken and tight and secure in place. Okay, so once we're done with that, we're going to check the tire. You want to make sure there's enough air in them and they're nice and tight. You also want to, again, make sure there's no cracks and bumps or weathering along the tire.